Hello everyone and welcome back to the YouTube channel. So today we are going to talk about an important question. Are there enough clients for therapists? So we will also ask ourselves, how can we build a private practice in a way that is sustainable, ethical, and not stressful as well? So I'm going to break this question down into how demand actually works, why it often feels like there is no demand, and then I will give you a simple plan with the main client sources you can activate, even if you hate social media, even if you are newly qualified, and even if you feel behind. So, are there enough clients out there? Well, there are enough clients, and there are many clients who are waiting for you. But that sentence only becomes useful when we define what enough really means, because the world has an ocean of needs. But private practice demand is really the part of that ocean that is actively looking for help, able to pay or covered by insurance, able to reach you, and able to trust you enough to take the next step. So the real question is not, is there need? Because there is a huge need nowadays. But the real question instead is this: do you have a clear path that connects help seekers to you? So most therapists don't have a demand problem. And I know that many people think that they have a demand problem, but it's really not the topic and the answer to that question. But they have a visibility and a trust pathway problem. So the good news about this is this: we can solve that problem. But unfortunately, it's not easy to find the answer, because nowadays we see many things on the internet, many tricks, many trends. And in the end, we don't need trends marketing tricks. We just need to understand the fundamentals of client acquisition in an ethical way. So why does it feel like they are not clients? Well, early on, there is something that nobody says out loud. When your calendar is empty, it can feel personal, it can feel like rejection, and it can also feel like I am not good enough. But in most cases, in 90% of cases, it's not about your competence, about your performance, but it's because you don't have momentum, proof, word of mouth, a referral network, a strong local presence, and a message that reduces uncertainty and that brings clarity to the appropriate clients. So your brain will assume, yeah, there must be no clients. But it's usually not a demand problem, but it's distribution. So clients exist and there are many of them, but your doorway is not easy to find yet, or it doesn't feel safe enough to take the next step. So now we are going to explore the 7 real sources of clients, and we will be very practical. We will get very practical here. So there are a lot of marketing ideas, but in reality, most private practices are built from a small set of client sources. So I will give you the big ones, and I will tell you what to do with each one of them. So the first source, and a very big one, it's Google search, the high intent clients. So this is really the simplest reality. Some people already want therapy. They are not being convinced, but they are already searching. They will type on Google therapist near me, burnout therapist in London, couples therapy, anxiety psychologist in Paris, or trauma therapist, or very local and specific terms. So your job is not to entertain them and to educate them, but your job is to be visible locally and look trustworthy, and in the end, to provide the simplest and the most logical next step for your potential clients who is actively searching for the right and appropriate therapist. So if you want one practical action right now, make sure your Google presence is real, complete, and consistent. So name, location, categories, description, hours, website. And to do that, you need a clear and exhaustive Google business profile. So that leads us to the second source, the Google business profile. So it's really the local trust engine. And it's why this deserves its own mention, because it's really one of the highest return on investment thing therapists can do. So a strong Google business profile can outperform a website because it's local, it shows legitimacy, and it creates instant trust signals through your Google business reviews, through the pictures that we post on your Google business profile. It's also really important. So Google business profile is really one of the core of your private practice, because it's also where reviews often live, depending on your regulatory context and ethics. But in general, we are free to have Google reviews on your Google business profile. And it's really important because in most cases, and not only for therapists, for every kind of job, even for doctors like me, when people explore, are making their searches on Google, they will see many profiles, many Google business profiles, and they will check for the reviews that are present. And if you have many positive reviews about you, it will be a huge trigger to get them from potential clients to real clients. So it's why Google Business Profile is really something important to spend time on and to build, because it's really one of the best return on investment for therapists, coaches, and many professionals in general. So if your profile looks empty, outdated, inconsistent, well, people don't think maybe they are great, but they will think not sure if this is real or not. So the third source consists of directories. So directories work well because they borrow trust. So people go there already believing this is where I should find a therapist. But your profile has to do one job. You have to reduce uncertainty to provide clarity, and again, to show them the next step. So most profiles fail because they read really like a CV. I am qualified in X and A. That's really vague, that's basic, and people can't connect with such a vague and professional description, because clients don't choose you because of qualifications alone, but they will choose you because they feel, yeah, I think that this person, this therapist, really understands me and the problem I am struggling with, and I feel safe taking the next step. So your profile needs clarity on who you help and who you don't help. How you work in human words, in words that resonate with your potential clients, with your niche, what the first step is, and what it feels like to work with you. So it's really important to answer those questions on your directory profile. Then the fourth source consists of professional referrals, so general practitioners like me, psychiatrists, physios, etc. So this is really one of the most ethical client resources you have. So you don't need to network like a business pro, but you just need to be easy to refer to. So here is what makes you referable: a clear one-sentence summary of who you help, a simple intake process, fast response time, and professional warmth. So a GP will refer to the person who makes their life easier and treats clients well. But the problem about professional referrals is that even if it's really a very interesting and powerful source, it is unpredictable. You can control that. You don't have your hand on it. So you need time, and that will work with through time, and you can get 10 clients from professional referrals this month, and then next month you will have maybe 2 or maybe 0. So it's something that is not consistent. It is not predictable. So even if it's really something that you need to have among your few sources, your few client or acquisition sources, it's really something that you can't control. So therefore, it's not something that you should focus on, because in the end, if you provide a high quality work to your potential clients, well, you will have your professional referrals. And I mean, you can get in touch with other professionals like doctors, and but you don't need to focus your full attention on it, because if you provide high quality work, it will be how to say that, having referrals will just be the logical consequence of being a therapist who provide high quality value. So it's really something important to have, but don't focus too much on it right now if you are struggling with acquiring clients, because as I said, it's not something that you can control. It is unpredictable. So the fifth source consists of referrals from other therapists. So therapists are not only competition, and that's really important, because they are often your best referral partners as well, because they are therapists for many different topics. And you can be very good in a specific topic, and another therapist may be very great in another topic. So it's not always about competition. Well, there might be, but I think it's really important to think in terms of that we are complementary. So we complement each other. That's what I meant. So it's really important to understand that. So as I said, therapists are also often your best referral partners, so they can't take new clients. They don't work with your niche. They don't do couples therapy. They can't see both partners. They don't offer your non-engage or your modality, or their schedule is full. So if you build relationships with a few local therapists, then you can become the overflow trusted person. So the sixth source is word of mouth from clients. So it's really the compounding engine. So again, this is the long game. It's not something that you can control easily. It's not something that is predictable. So it's not something about asking clients to market you. And it's about doing consistently good work with consistent boundaries. So when a therapist generally helps, well, people will talk by themselves. They will recommend, they will come back later, they will refer their partner, their friend, their colleague. So this is why this is really the best marketing strategy. And the best marketing strategy to do is this: excellent client experience, clear boundaries, and a reliable process. And that's all. So now let's talk about the seventh source, content. So again, it's slow trust that compounds. So content is not about going viral, sorry. It's about letting someone experience you safely before they contact you. So that can be YouTube videos, articles, a simple newsletter, or short posts that answer real questions in an ethical way on Instagram and Facebook, for example. So the goal of content is not persuasion, but it's familiarity. It's to build trust in the long run. So for some people, it takes 7 exposures before they feel ready to reach out. So content really creates those exposures without pressure. So content marketing is really a long-term game, and it is also very powerful to build trust through time. But again, it's not something that will get you clients right now. So it's something that you must build. It's really important to focus on content, but it's not your first priority right now, and it's not something that will get you clients right now. It's really something that will work for you for a long time for the future, if you want to have a thriving private practice that runs in the long term. So now let's make the simplest client flow plan. So if you are building a private practice, do not try to activate all 7 sources at once. It's really a very common mistake to trying to activate few sources at once, but that will burn out people for sure. So instead, build it like this, just one step at a time. So first, choose one main engine. So either search based, so Google, your Google business profile or directories, or content based, YouTube or Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn if you're working with professionals, or a newsletter. And then at the same time, you will add one support channel, referrals from professionals and therapists. So you will get in touch with some of them. You will show yourself, you will explain what you offer and what you don't offer, who you help and who you don't help, and that's all. And then when you will have achieved one main engine, when you will have prepared correctly one main engine, then you will focus on another source. But just remember that you need to work on each step at a time. Don't try to activate many steps at the same time, because it won't work, or maybe it will work, but it will get you burnout. So that's not what we want. So a calm setup looks like this: a clear Google presence through your Google business profile, one directory profile, and one simple referral network. Or another example, one content channel, for example, Instagram, one clear landing page, and one referral network. So the mistake is trying to do many things at once: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, blogs, ads, networking directories, all at once. So you don't need more effort here. You just need the right structure, the right system, and to work on each step, on each part of the system at a time, at once. So let's close this video with the most important mindset shift that we will make for the future. Private practice is not built by intensity, but it's built by consistency. So you plant seeds, a profile, a page, a relationship, a piece of content, and a referable connection. And those seeds will compound through time. So if you are in the early stage and it feels like something, it feels like very quiet, it feels like you don't have many clients and that it's really hard for you right now, then don't interpret that as a failure, but interpret it as: I am in the part where the system is being built. And instead of being overwhelmed by focusing yourself on many sources at a time, just focus on one step at a time. And when you have completed one step, then be proud of yourself, of what you have done, and then move on to the next one. But it's really important to see that as a whole, as a system, and that you will build each part of it at a time. So I hope that this video was helpful, and we will see each other for the next video. If you have questions, if you want to get in touch with me, you can contact me on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and I will answer you with great pleasure. So let's see each other for the next video.